Admittedly against an offensively challenged Grizzlies team, but they allowed 89 points, season best in terms of opposing field goal percentage in the paint, 9 blocks. They forced 23 turnovers along the way. And this was, in addition to the chemistry issues, this was their major on-court issue the first half of the season. They're a bad defensive team, still 28th in the league in defensive efficiency. How much better do they need to get to not only get back to the finals, but to be a threat against the Warriors or whoever they might face?
Well, when you watch the highlights and things, you see that they have their spirit back, their energy back. They look like they're enjoying playing together. And LeBron in the piece, he has other guys like Clarkson and these guys that can get their own points off the dribble. But at the end of the day, what a coach wants is time, film sessions, practice, all these other things. And then defensively, they have to get better and on the same page. They're forcing a pick and roll down, have to be in here. J.R. Smith, not where he's supposed to be, and gives up an easy layup there. Just poor effort, poor defense, puts his hand up, but it's still 2 points for the other team. Here, same thing, just a basic little cut. LeBron doesn't get the bump. The weak side is not alert. They're not active. Now look at Kyle Korver. He's like, oh, I'm hugging my man too much. Those are the little things. Here we talk about, okay, force the pick and roll down. Look at George Hill. They switch it. Boom. He's back to his guy. Little anticipation, and guess what? Now they're out on the break, and when this guy's coming at you, we know what kind of problems he creates. Their defense creates some offense. Here, little high pick and roll, weak side. Look at the weak side here. He's engaged. You got an overload side. Boom. I think that's Jeff Green steps in front, does a nice job here. J.R. Smith, defensive play, creates some offense, little communication, little effort. And that's what it's going to take for the Cleveland Cavaliers to take that next step. They're going to score the basketball. They're going to do some things. They're going to rebound. LeBron's going to do his deal. But at the end of the day, they have to get some defensive stops and create that spirit, that excitement to help their defense create that offense.
Does this new look roster give them the potential to be a better defensive team, or is it more a matter of, with improved chemistry, maybe guys start paying attention to those little things that Vinny described?
No question, Matt, it's going to make them a better defensive team first because of the youth and athleticism. Because you make mistakes, you have that ability to go correct them without calling the timeout. That's what I like about last night's game, because Thursday you had Washington Wizards come in your home and pretty much did whatever they wanted to. Yeah. You watched a little tape, you had the ballroom walkthrough, and you paid attention to detail the very next night, not letting the bleed and continue with the bad team. So you get that win, now you regroup and get back to your winning ways. And now to your point, as the chemistry gets better, like Clarkson talks about, once he gets used to these wide open shots and all these cutters, and on the floor with J.R. Smith is another knockdown shooter, Kyle Korver, another knockdown shooter. So think about it, LeBron James can have 3 knockdown shooters at one point in time on the floor. When they go small, he's at the 4, and then you have J.R. at the 3. That can be scary once the chemistry gets connected.
This team should also run, as Tyronn Lue has been saying he wants them to run since he arrived. They haven't really been a running team, but with this group, this younger, more athletic group, if this team doesn't run, they're never running.
Well, Matt, you're hoping that they get more steals. Right. Obviously, not going to block as many shots. Larry Nance may get one here and there. We know Kevin Love's not going to block shots when he gets healthy. But the steals, the deflections, things of that nature on the defensive end, you get more of those, and now you can get out and run.
The biggest thing is what Clarkson said in that interview, getting used to playing with LeBron. They draw so much attention. He draws so much attention. Where's my shots coming? But like we've talked about, defense, Larry Nance can run. George Hill's a smart player. Hood can score. We know Clarkson likes to get out and run. LeBron can't. So they have a very dynamic team. They have younger legs, fresher legs, and playing with LeBron, the game becomes a lot easier for everybody.
And Matt, sometimes I think we overanalyze playoff experience. But I think Larry Nance and Clarkson, I think those guys are salivating for the opportunity to get this wide open shot in the Eastern Conference Finals coming from LeBron. Kevin Love's getting double teamed. Larry Nance is slashing down the basket, dump off pass for a dunk. I don't think it's that big of a deal not having a whole lot of playoff experience along with George Hill.
Well, George Hill's got tons of it, and Rodney Hood got a taste of it with Utah. And by the way, Kevin Love is coming back.
He's coming back.
About a month, probably, or something like that.
And let's face it, there's not a lot of teams raising their hands saying we'd like to play Cleveland in the first round of the playoffs. I mean, so where they end up, how they manage the rest of this season, going in healthy, going in on the same page at both ends of the court, after timeouts, film sessions, all those things, gives them time together. They could be a dangerous team.